Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jaylee. This is JLeesCorner. This is my review for Ready to Love. This is season whatever, I don't know, episode 5. I hope everybody's having a great day, having a great weekend and stuff. Okay. Let's get into the day. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel to become a whole JayBird, dun, and all that goodness and stuff. Do not forget to like this video because it always helps when you like the video, okay? That's just what you're supposed to do because you like us as YouTubers. Do not forget to relax, to relate, to release, to center yourself and everyone around you because it helps you just kind of calm down. Also inhale and exhale because that is how you also calm down in the world today. You can also follow me on social media at J_Lees_Corner. The link is always in the description box below every single video, and it's also right there on the screen. And yes, I am here. Okay. It is Sunday. I want to relax a little bit more today, but I have some reviews to do. So I'm going to do this one first, and then I'm going to do Ayanla right after. Ayanla will be at like 5:15. I think it's like 5:05. I don't know. Fast, some of it is set on my channel, so do not forget to come back to my live Ayanla review and stuff. I was going to review this last night, but it was so late. I'm like, let me just set it as a live review that I would do today at 4. So I'm here because I said it, okay? Even though I'm like, I want to go back to bed, but I could not. But let's get into this episode, which I think was kind of good. I still feel like we not getting enough of the people conversations and stuff. Like we're getting these little bit dates. But I'm like, are we really getting enough information? So the episode starts off that the men have the power this week to send a woman home. Okay. And Tommy tells them, like, one, I want y'all to keep dating the ladies, keep getting to know them, keep going deeper and deeper. But however, we're going to have a masquerade ball this time. And because of that, we want y'all to get dressed up and all nicey. And I'm like, well, that's fine too. Now, the weird part is I feel like the dates we get in are the same. Like nobody is I'm like, I just want a little bit of difference with it, but I'm like, it's fine. So we do see a couple dates happen this particular episode. We see the first one is like a little group, little double date or whatever. We have AJ, who was it? It was AJ, what's the girl name? Alexis, Jason, and then Kira. I think it's Kira. What's the Kira? I don't remember. It's fine. So they went ice skating, okay? And in the ice skating of it all, we see AJ and Kira talking and everything. And he tells her how, despite their messy backstory of the date of him being cheap and not paying the bill, that he still really wants to date her. He wants to get to know her. He wants to pursue her, and she is in, the set of his top ladies. I don't think he said she is his top, but he did say, you are one of my top, you are in my top, and that's what you should. I want to date you, pursue you, whatever. And she was like, even though they had the messy start, that she also wants to move forward with him or whatever and see how their bond will blossom. And for me, I felt like it was weird to see them talking like she wasn't dogging him in the first episode when she realized who he was. And I almost feel like you saying he was El Cheapo, or your friends call him El Cheapo, and how he was the worst day ever. But now you're still kind of giddy and happy to be able to date him again. I'm looking like, but was you full of bullshit? Was it really the worst date? So I'm not, whatever. But again, she brings up how once he lets down his little bullshit persona, that he's really a great person. And I'm like, well, okay, but I feel like, what do we know about Kyra? What do we know about her in real life? Like, not much. It's like we see men once today her because she was on a date with Jason, with AJ, but I don't get a good feel for her just yet. Because I feel like she's just allowing the men to date her. She's not dating them. And when you date someone, you let them know who you are while also getting to know who they are. But it's weird that she just switched up. And she, now, because she was really giddy and smiley on the date. She was giddy and smiley also in the confessional talking about AJ. So I was like, but just the other day you said that he was cheap. and you was upset because he was on some BS. So girl, leave it be. Now with Jason and Alexis talk about, I want Alexis to stop bringing up Alexis Fly. Every time she said Alexis Fly, I feel like she's here to promote her brand and not to really be in a relationship. Everything she says, she brings it back to Alexis Fly, Alexis Fly. And even though she is trying to be a brand, I get that. But if you want her to date, then bitch, then date. Like this date. Like we don't need to hear your Alexis Fly every single episode and every single conversation about how you feel like you should be represented. You like fashion? Okay, so do I. I'm saying, but you have to sometimes let that go when you're trying to focus on something else. Because she had on one outfit where she had the word flat. Was it here? Was it on here? Was she had the little thing that said flower on her top? Yes, her shirt says fly because she's Alexis Fly. We're not buying your clothes. Stop it. You know what I'm saying? Cut it out. Cut it out immediately. But I'm going to leave that be as well. Anyway, but when Alexis and Jason talked, now I told y'all on episode 1, when she sat that man down at that bench and told him how much she liked him when he was her son's basketball when he was her son's basketball teacher, she liked him then but did not say anything. And when he did not reciprocate that, you say, oh, you like me? Okay, good. Like he was open to it. I say he don't like you like that. Like you that boy mama, and that's it. I said that on episode 1. Now he told her, you said, I'm having issues with seeing you as like a partner, as like a sex partner, as a girlfriend or whatever. I'm having issues seeing that. And I like that she was open enough to ask him, like, how do you see us? I think she failed. She felt he didn't like her like that or whatever. That's why I didn't get why she kept pursuing it. But I'm like, he clearly didn't like you. And not like, no, not that he did not like her. It just wasn't a bond there. But I felt that from the moment they sat down and talked, but I'm gonna leave that be. He did not like her at all. It was seen too much. But I was like, girl, bye. But she was happy that he was one honest with her and told her, like, I don't see if us there's such kind of connection here. Even though she also brought up how she was, sad that he did not like her. But I was like, but everyone ain't gonna like you. You can be Alexis Fly all you want, but that does not mean it's going to transition into people really liking you all up and through. So that was a little thing. So, AJ and Kyra had a good time. Alexis and Jason, not so much. Because, again, it's over between them two, and that's fine. Now, we then see a date between Ronald and Stacy. I said Stacy had her titties out, honey. She had cleavage out. I mean, I don't mind cleavage either or whatever, because on that you're supposed to put your best foot forward. But I'm like, girl, your titties is just like in his face, okay? Anyway, they sit and they chit chat. It was a date at his house for dinner or whatever. And he asked her about, her divorce or whatever. And she brings up how she's been divorced for 4 years. And in that time frame, she had been focusing on her. She'd been focusing on her kids. It is her new normal, being a single mom at home with 3 kids. And, getting her kids acclimated to the new life or whatever. But she's now ready to find a partner or whatever. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess that's fine. Now, they was talking a little bit and whatnot, and I thought it was a bit of a good vibe. But then she asked him about how it's been going dating other people. I'm like, I never get when they on dates with the people and they ask them about the other people. If we on the date, I give no fuck about whoever else you are dating, and you should not care who I'm dating either. Because again, this is only episode 5. This is not episode 8 and 9. We trying to get down to the degree. It's like you supposed to be dating around now and let it be or whatever. But again, she asked him about who else he dating, and he brings up how he knows that she is not really, really close with Chrysanthemum. Okay, we found out that Chrysanthemum and Stacy now go by freaking frack. Okay, they are so close as friends. They are kindred spirits or whatever. They like sisters now. They have connected like no other. I'm like, really? And this is my thing. When Joel and Jason and the men were talking, and Jason brought up how Joel helped him move, and then Joel brought up how you can also find a brotherhood here. I felt like that was cool, but I do feel like with the women, you can create a sisterhood and not be like, okay, now we best friends, and if you get one, you get the other. And that's the difference. You still need to be individuals. And the fact that you up here asking these men about them dating other people, it's too early for that, for one. And it's kind of childish to be best friends with somebody on a dating show when y'all want the same men. Like y'all can be friends, but you should not be freaking frack. Y'all, that's stupid to me. It doesn't make any sense. It's like, what, girl? Bye, bye, boo. Anyway, so he mentions how I know y'all close now. I know that, but I'm also interested in him. Yes, and then he's like, oh yeah, because we talked about that at her house. I'm like, oh Lord Jesus, so you gonna tell this man who y'all both like that you and Chrysanthemum is at the house talk about who y'all dating, and that would make the men feel like, okay, we can't even have individualized conversations or bonds with them because they're gonna sit and have girls' night and then talk about it and that and then come back to us and say, well, Chrysanthemum said this and this and this, or what's it's like it causes conflict, or not conflict. It can cause confusion and unnecessary bullshit, for lack of a better term. And I don't understand why she thought that was smart to do. It's like, but again, she was married for a long time. She's been single for too long. I guess she don't know how to date. But that's on her. But when she asked him, like, well, who is like your top? And he says to us, we didn't see him say it into her. We brought up how he told her that he does have a deeper connection with Chrysanthemum than her. But again, he still likes to see what's going on, because again, they're still dating right now. Yes, Stacy played herself all throughout this episode. It was a lot of playing herself going on, and I was like, please stop playing yourself. Please cut it out. Yeah, Stacy never spoke up for herself. She stayed on Flower's tip the entire episode. It was weird because I was like, you're not even dating. It's like you out here trying to figure out how someone else can date. How can Chrysanthemum get you to like her more? I'm like, why do you not care about someone liking you? And if you don't really like Ronald to date him, find who you like and go out with them. You should not be on no date trying to get no information for Chrysanthemum. I don't care if she is the frick to your frack. Don't do that. Don't do that. Thank you, Crystal Brewer, for $5. But yeah, this whole season is boring. I don't think it's boring yet. I'm entertained. I'm saying, but again, it's only episode 5. But anyway, he brings up how Stacey and Chris call themselves freaking frack, and they always together, and that's kind of weird. I'm like, yes, it is. But anyway, I feel like their date went nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Mainly because her whole concern was about who else he liked and what else he had going on with anyone else besides her. I was like, maybe she wanted a free meal. Anyway, we then see Chris and Amber go on a little date. They go meditate. They go out in the sun, say some positive affirmations, soak up the rays of it all. And just kind of woosah the whole time. They was out there relaxing, relating, and releasing is what they were doing. Now I was like, why she in a sweater dress? Is it cold? Okay. Because it could be shiny and cold, not shiny. It could be sunny and cold, but I'm like, girl, you have a sweater dress. It was so cute though. But again, they sit back and have a whole conversation about marriage. And they kind of bring up Chris brings up how, he doesn't feel like marriage is the epitome of any relationship. It can be what it's going to be, even if marriage is not the ending that you are looking for. But also he feels like if someone wants to get married, that's fine. But that does not always have to be that's the grand resistance of a relationship. Chris is broke. This day was free as hell, so he loved it. I don't think Chris is broke. I think Chris navigates on a different wavelength than other people. But he also may not be wealthy, but I don't think he's broke. I think he thought outside the box. And it's also a great thing about wanting to give someone peace of mind so that when you do sit and talk, y'all both are like just mellowed out versus, let's go to a restaurant with loud people and loud music or whatever and talk over the music. It's like, okay, no, let's go ahead and sit down and chit chat a little bit. I don't mind it. It is what it is, but it can be what's going to be too. But yeah. So, but again, with Chris bringing up how, marriage may not be, the end all be all. And I'm like, so you're okay with a long-term committed relationship where we don't have to get married? And you're like, well, yeah, But if you want to get married, let's get married. And she agreed. She's like, I agree. I feel like him saying, she's like, if I have a soulmate, everything else will come and will fall in place. So they seem to vibe really, really well. I agree that, people don't have to get married to be happy. Some people want marriage, and that's okay. But we have to also make leeway and make way for people who don't look for marriage as their end goal because they have a soulmate who they still live with and love, and it's still the same thing. So it just depends. And neither of them were saying that they don't want to get married, but they both were saying that doesn't have to be the thought process from the beginning to the end. And if I don't get married, then that means this bond won't work. So that's how I saw what they were saying, and I liked it or whatever. But again, it was great. But again, he brought up how great he vibed with Amber, and I feel like you vibe with Nia too. So I don't want him to do the same thing again and put all his eggs in one DA basket, and then he's fucked and he goes to prison. So I just hope that he pays attention to who else he could vibe with, who else he could, potentially have something with. Because again, this is the same thing that happened last season. You met a person, y'all went on, y'all had this old good chemistry thing or whatever, and everything was going good. Just touch my water. Everything was going good until boom, pow, pow, crazy shit went off, and we found out she was nuts. So, not saying that Amber is nuts, but I'm just saying, don't put all your penises in her vagina. That's what I'll try to say. Hey, boo, I'm saying? We don't let that happen to you again, Chris. Because as Tommy told him, you can't get a third chance. Like the third chance ain't come around no more. So we slow down, little red Corvette. But I like them together. I just don't want him to get played again. You know what I'm saying? So we shall see what happens. But all well that ends well. The next thing that we see a little group date, okay? And the little group date was with Ronald, Joel, Dietrich first. I will always say that was the thing come up. Chrysanthemum, Tressa, and Venetia. Is her name Venetia? Girl, I think it's Venetia. They should say her name more so I can know what it is. I won't keep messing it up. Or they may say, and I may still mess up. Who knows? But they gonna look group date. Ron was gonna teach them salsa lessons, and to me it was funny because I feel like he got two left feet, or maybe two right feet, but his feet kept moving the same way, and it was weird, and I was confused or whatever. But a good time was had by all. Now he taught them all as a group or whatever, and then broke them off into their own separate entities or whatever. But this is what I found funny. With Joel and Venetia or whatever her name is, they had a good time. We see their chemistry. But I also wonder, because we see them smiling at each other a lot. We don't really hear them talking or what. I haven't heard them have a full-fledged conversation that makes sense as to why they have this connection. I feel like they're both beautiful people, and so they keep looking at each other and see how attractive the other one is, and there may be a great connection between them, but I'm like, but what have y'all talked about? You know what I'm saying? So a part of me wants to see more conversation to make my head understand why they mesh. I just want to see a bit more of it. Now with Tressa and Dietrich first, the space in between them, I'm like, see, they not meant to be together because we never really seen them close up. And it was a dance. I was like, what's going on here? Like, I don't understand it. It's just weird, And I'm like, I don't know if I like it, but again, it's fine. I liked her outfit though. Was really, really, their pants was really, really bright. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, right. They haven't let us really get to know V at all. She don't talk much. Even in her confessionals, she say one or two sentences, and that's it. I really like him. We vibe, and then that's it. She don't say much at all. And I don't even think she's talking to or communicating with anybody except Joe. But I feel like Joe is talking to whoever. I don't think Joe is only talking to her. And that be the hard part with these shows is that the women will pick one dude and like that one dude. And the men will pick three women and have a choice of those three, and then the women then have to kind of fight it out. I hate that that happened, and it's kind of dumb. So it's just kind of crazy. But again, I want to see more of Joel and Venetia's connection. I want to see a bit more conversation. Yeah, Joel loves her body and her shape. He loves doing that. He like how they look together. And I'm not saying he does not like her wholeheartedly, but I feel like it's all general stuff, like, I'm happy that she had a life, that she's overcome stuff being a single mom. That's to me, that's all service level stuff. Unless she told you stuff and you keep it a secret, I get that. But something about it feels like, what else do y'all talk about, and why is their connection? It's weird, you know what I'm saying? Because I like them to get, they look great together, but it's something about it I just don't get just yet. But boom, pow. So we don't get much at all. We don't get anything from Dietrich first and Tressa right here, but it's fine. Now, with Ronald and Chrysanthemum or whatever, sitting around the chit chat and talking over in that corner, her thing is, I heard that you said that Alexis is your number one, and I don't like it being number two. I'm never number two. I'm never, why is that? You saying he wasn't even in my eyesight until we had a date, and all of a sudden I'm his number two. I'm like, bitch, you were on a dating competition. Like, it's like you can't make it seem that you are dating someone like one-on-one for real. You came to a dating competition. You're in line. You're in the running to be someone's option. Truthfully, they're all in the running to be someone's option. So to be upset that you are an option to someone in a room full of options is stupid to me. Okay, is that why you single? Because you may be dumb. I'm not sure. But I feel like her being upset this early is stupid. It was just, for what? What you mad for? And if he wasn't even in your eyesight, why do you care after one date? Because you don't have nobody else that's that tough. And also, if you don't want to be number two, don't come on a TV show where you're one of 20 looking to date. Her argument of I can't be number two was stupid. It was, and I'm like, did she not hear herself? I can't be number two on this dating show or 20 single people dating each other, getting to know each other. I can't be number two. I have to be someone number one. Well, go date one-on-one in the real world. I'm my girl, bye. Anyway, so his thing is like, I have a top three, and she's in my top three, you know what I'm saying? But I can't do all this bullshit with her or whatever. And he also brings up how he does have a connection with Alexis. I said, Alexis? Where did it come from? Now, we knew about Chrysanthemum, and now, of course, we know about Chrysanthemum and Stacy. But I was like, Alexis. So we then see a flashback scene of at the ladies, dinner or whatever, where Alexis brought up how her and Ronald talk all the time on the phone. And so she said, he told me I'm his top one. And I'm like, oh, so Ronald is out here again, getting to know people or whatever, and I guess dating around. Now, we hadn't even talked about Ron for the first 3 episodes. So it looks like in the background, he's been playing the field and being smart about it, because again, well, at least with Alexis and Chrysanthemum, Stacey don't matter. She don't count. But you know what I'm saying? Oh, anyway, but I like how he's like, I don't have to make her my number one right now. I'm trying to figure things out for me. And he brought up how, she seems to only be concerned about her ego and not really my process. And the reason why I agree with that, now usually if a guy said that, I would have been pissed, but that's when it's down to the wire. And, they are forcing the women to not have anyone. Chrysanthemum has time to find someone who wants her to be their number one. But why act as if, he can only worry about me? It's like, no, it's a competition, baby. Y'all supposed to date around or whatever. But I'm like, bye. So she's upset. I won't dance. I want to go. I'm tired. I want to leave. I'm like, well, go home. Leave. Get out of here. It just was a dumb reason to be upset. And like make it seem as if in that, what y'all dancing salsa or whatever, that, I can't, even be here with him because he on bullshit. No, I think you on bullshit. So we then see the next date, and it's Tressa and Dietrich first, okay? And they look like they would be a great couple right here, okay? This is them in the spice store. Now, things did not get spicy, okay? It was not a spicy date. However, looking at them, they look like they would be a cute couple. You know what I'm saying? Growing old, getting spices, cooking fufu or whatever. So they do look like a good match. However, he brings up how he was trying to feel a vibe to see if that vibe was like a moment in thing or whatever, or something that will last longer. And he like, there just wasn't a spark. And I don't want to force it. And then, I'm like, and he again, I feel like she's just like the friend or whatever, like the homie. And they every season, the thicker girl always is talked about as the homie. And if the girl happens, and I don't like that every season, the thicker girl, like the comedian girl, I'm like, we not all funny. We not all funny. Some of us aren't funny at all. I mean, I'm funny. But again, it's like, I don't like how they only cast men who all have a specific type, and none of them are open to dating anyone different. All of the men are always there to date who they usually date. You know what I'm saying? And they were in the store just talking about spices. And I felt like why even be there to only talk about spices and not talk amongst each other? And I kind of blame them both for that, because it was a dumb date. But at the same time, he asked her out and she came dressed, looking great, and she was open to whatever. But again, I felt like he ain't had shit to say. I think he felt like, okay, if I go out with her again, I'll feel something without having to really talk to her, and he ain't feel shit. But he also didn't try. You know what I'm saying? And that's the part that was pissing me off. But right, Dietrich has no conversation. Something is off. You can still have a decent conversation, and he doesn't. But when he says stuff, it's because he's had a conversation with himself in his head, and so he's already made a decision in his head. And I was like, okay. Dietrich was trying to stay on the show because nobody was feeling him. Because who else likes Dietrich? That's a good assumption. It may be nobody. It may be. I'm not doing y'all. Not Bill Badley. I don't think he ever talked about how she looked. It was just a thing that he just did not find a connection. But she brought up how said, I really want someone who's aggressive. Who's aggressive, girl? When all your phones are ringing. I'm gonna live. I'll call you back. Oh, you live? Sorry. All right. I'm like, all the phones is ringing. Sorry, y'all. But Tressa was bringing up how she wanted someone to be aggressive. She wants someone who knows what he wants and will come get it. And so when she kind of says that in her own way to Dietrich, he like, I'm saying, well, if a man wants you, he will come and pursue you. And if he does not pursue you, he doesn't want you. And she's like, you know what? This man don't want me. I'm like, he doesn't. And it's not even a disservice or a nod or diss to Tressa, because she's beautiful. She has a great body. She shaped great or whatever. But anyway, it was him. He was on bullshit, and that was fine. But I was like, I felt bad because they never really put men on here who is open to dating different people. That's why the men typically are always looking at the same women, because they have a type. The fact that you have 10 women here, but the 10 men will only like 3 of the girls, 3 of the possible, because they're not open at all. And to me, if you're not really open to dating different people, are you really ready for love, or are you really looking for someone to just get attention from? And that's what I don't like about the show. They need to have more people who are more open to different things. You know what I'm saying? He said he was like until the men on here be on bullshit, basically. But we're gonna let them go now. So their date kind of ended with that. It was just, it was spice and no spice. It was spice and no spice. I don't care. Now we then have the ball. The masquerade ball. The location looked amazing. It was a whole little castle type, mansion type, all that stuff, and it was great. It was cute and all that. So I was like, yeah, love it. Now we see 2 people who came in. I want to discuss their looks. Okay. We had Liz in the pink dress and Alexis in the white dress. Alexis literally came in a wedding dress. Like, she literally came because, as she said, she was trying to put forth. She was trying to manifest what she wants from this experience. She wants to leave this with her husband. Okay, so I came in a wedding dress, get these looks, and I was like, I mean, it was a masquerade ball, and I don't think if she would have took the train off, it would have been cool. But I'm like, you came full fledged in a wedding dress. Okay, girl, cut it out. Now as far as Liz went, Liz came out breast out. I was like, Liz, girl, and her body is great, and I think the reason the men reacted how they did because Jason and David and everyone turned their head like, oh wow, oh wow. It's because she had on a fitting dress and her boobs were showing, and she's this wholesome church going lady or whatever, and that is what she wanted to kind of put out a little bit to show she's not just a church one person. And now I'm like, okay, that's fine. Both women look great, but those were the most talked about looks of the night. I didn't mind Liz's dress. I just felt like, girl, it's a lot of boob. But again, she looked great nonetheless. Now we see everyone there, and they all look great. Everyone was dressed nice with the little mask, the dress, the men in suits. I was happy that, even AJ came dressed up or whatever, because I felt like he's always like dressed a little bit like him and too relaxed or whatever. But I'm happy that everyone stepped their game up and looked absolutely amazing the whole time. Now we do see at one point that, Stacy was talking to Ronald about him needing to go harder at Chrysanthemum. You should pursue her. I'm looking like he can get out that man business, leave that man alone, let that man date who he gonna date, leave him be. And he brought up how it was kind of irritating that, she keep trying to force him to rush a connection with someone else. I'm like, cause y'all was on a date. Y'all was on a whole full-fledged date, and you was out here acting dumb. Like, who does that? Why do that? Don't do that. But again, it's the bullshit of it all. What's that? The women are all beautiful. Dressed look. Yeah, they all the women looked amazing. I really wished they would have showed each lady's dress, but they didn't. Like, I don't think they even really showed anyone's full dress except Alexis's dress. But I had wished that they had showed each dress so I could have showed y'all. But I got this one picture of everyone. But it was like, yeah. But anyway, so we do see was the freaking frack talking? Yes, boom. Freaking frack. Okay, Chrysanthemum and Stacy. So we seen Chris and Ronald talking with Stacy and Chrysanthemum, Chris with the K. And the guys mentioned how close they are in the whole freaking freaking. Oh, y'all know we call freaking freaking. They're like, yeah, everyone know. And Stacy then brings out, oh, y'all can't handle us together. And I'm like, y'all should not be it should not be a y'all. Like, no one should have to handle both of y'all in a dating competition. It should not be tag team. That's not what we should do. And then she's like, y'all gonna let somebody else intimidate y'all from getting to know the other one. And that's the problem. Why that don't make no sense. And once you said it, I was like, you sound stupid. What is wrong with you? And Chris brought up how the men had been saying it was hard to get to know Chrysanthemum because Stacy was always either being mentioned or just getting involved, and that was the issue. Even Tommy said to both freaking frack, you know what I'm saying, at one point, frick gotta be frick and frack gotta be frack. Y'all cannot be a team in this situation. And I feel like neither one of them were hearing the signs being dropped on them at that time. I'm like, girls, listen, they're telling y'all to cut it out, okay, because you really have to get things together. Now, we did see Liz and Jason have a conversation because Jason's like, I just had to get Liz to myself in a corner to talk. I'm like, don't kidnap people. But now that Liz is on the show with her boobs out, legs out, thighs out, hips out, now he likes her. She looked different, And the fact he said, you have a Michelle Obama type of. I'm like, Michelle Obama. I'm like, because look, I have never seen Michelle Obama with her breast out. I have never seen Michelle Obama in that kind of dress. And I get you trying to compliment her, but it was on bullshit. I'm like, she pressed her hair out, put on a tight dress, and had her boobs out. That was what made you feel like, oh, I can talk to her now. I like her now. But I told y'all on episode 1, when he was talking to Tressa and Kira Kyra walked up in her tight ass green dress, he did the exact same thing. He was focused on one person and then turned to focus on somebody else who came in a tight dress. I was like, wait, go home. And I feel like he not ready to love either because he keeps popping and popping and popping to what's next, what's next, what's next. Whoever looks better that day is who he likes that day. And I think that's why he don't like Alexis. Alexis does not fit his vision of beauty. Okay? Even though he isn't everyone's vision of beauty either, or handsomeness or whatever. But again, that's what because Alexis' dress is just as beautiful and great as the other girls, but she looks different. And I think that's why he can't open himself up to feel like, okay, I can like her because you didn't like Liz until just now. So Jason, you full of shit. Okay, yes, he's kind of corny. You know what I'm saying? Corny. And the whole thing, he kind of moved her hair out of her face. I was like, don't touch me. Don't put your hands in my face. It's like, don't do that. It was, something about Jason within this scene made me not like him. And even in the clip of next episode, and he was like, "Oh, you look younger than me," and I was like, "Why does that matter, young buck?" You know what I'm saying? Cut it out. But again, I just somebody I don't like. I don't. And the fact that Liz was like open to, I can date him too. I not date him. I can go on a date with him to see if this little vibe I feel in this moment is something real or a little fleeting moment or whatever. Because she really likes David. When she walked in, David went to her, hugged her. You look great. But David has always gave her that energy. And that's why I can respect David, because David has always been interested in Liz and vice versa. Whereas Jason got interested today at this moment. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like it. He gets on my nerves or whatever. But she's like, I'm going to try, see what happens or whatever. Leave that be. I think, girl, leave him on the curb. Leave him there. Do not has go. Do not collect $200. Leave it alone. Okay. So we then see Ronald, who was talking to Chrysanthemum at first. Little chit chat. But then we see Alexis kind of walk by, and he kind of walks away slowly from Chrysanthemum and goes right over to who? Alexis. Okay, they chit chat or whatever. And Chrysanthemum sees it. Go ahead over to your number one. Again, she feel like, you playing me for her. I'm like, because you don't seem real. You know what I'm saying? And even though he could have been a bit more courteous to walking away, and so, excuse me real quick. He kind of just walked away. Where I feel like, you know what I'm saying, you be on bullshit, Chrysanthemum, and that's why he don't want to deal with you. But we're gonna leave that be. Now, these two chit chatting or whatever, and Alexis, like, I just really wonder if he really likes me and her, and not only that, if he feels like Chris really likes him, because I feel as if me and Chrysanthemum, like, we like the same guys, and I just want to know, like, how I should move and how close he really is to whoever else. And I'm like, girl, who knows? So when she asked him, I do think that Chrysanthemum really likes you, like if there's a true connection, he said, well, I don't know. I do like her or whatever, but she hasn't really been open yet. So we'll see if it's real or if it's going to be just as service as she is now. I was like, damn. Now she do come off really, really service level based. I said that when she went on the date the first time with him. I said neither one of them are really being deep. It was like basic ass questions. So, but I feel like that's how the date was with Ronald and Stacy. So it's like, not only is Chrysanthemum, kind of boring, but so are you, Ronald. So are you. But he talked a little bit more openly with Alexis. So it could be that he just doesn't like the other two women. He really do like her. And that's who his number one is. So that's who he talks the most to. So I was like, but I'm like not calling Chrysanthemum service level. But I mean, she is. Anyway, shady. Now we do see the men meet up to discuss who do we not like. Who do we want to go home? Who should leave immediately? Now, AJ says he likes Kira. Chris with the K says he likes Amber. David, of course, likes Liz. Joelle, of course, likes Venetia. And Ronald says his number one is Alexis. Now, they didn't ask the other men or whatever. We know that Jason also likes Liz, but he's boring. Okay, so, and I think they didn't ask, who else they didn't ask? They didn't ask Dietrich. which I'm like, because who cares? But again, it's fine. Now when they get to they do not like, they all say Stacy. They bring up how because with Stacy, she's always talking about chrysanthemum and the whole freaking frack thing, like the whole double team thing. They don't like the whole double team of it all, and they say how it's more Stacy who is, being the interrupter of things than it is chrysanthemum. And so Ronald brought up how Stacy talked to him, in a way that made him feel as if she was talking to one of her kids. And he brought up how, you do want a woman who can be assertive, but you do not want someone who's like, I'm not your child. Like, don't talk to me in that way. And so for him, he said that's why Stacey's his bottom. Now, they also bring up how none of them are feeling Tressa. They all said there's no romantic attraction to her or whatever. I'm like, oh, bullshit. Now, they also said chrysanthemum. So the bottom three was chrysanthemum, Tressa, and Stacy. And for me, I felt like, because I was sitting on Twitter, people was like, every season, guys don't like the plus size girl or whatever. And I feel like it don't be because she's not beautiful. It does not be because she's not whatever else. It's because the men they pick just aren't open. And it's dumb. And there's somebody else said how they always say the plus size girl or the funny girl is like the home girl. I'm like, they've sent other girls home for the same reason, so I won't say it's always that reason, but they really do have to pick men who are really open to dating different folk. Period. Okay, so we then see the final two ladies go on a date or beat up basically with two men. So David met up with Stacy and Joelle met up with Tressa. Now, I felt like Stacy should have known when she got called to meet up with David, something was up. Because y'all last date was on some shit, and you then talked about him basically on last date, and that was some shit. So I feel like, girl, you didn't see this, you didn't see the writing on the wall. The women all like the same kind of men. Well, no, the women all will think about dating all the men. Because no woman here has, besides the first two guys who went home, they were all open to dating them. The men have not been like that. Well, except Troy. Troy was an equal opportunity, whoever. You know what I'm saying? But fine. Anyway, but Stacey and David talking, and she brings up how she knows that her and Chrysanthemum being so close has been causing some issues or whatever. And David brings up, well, yeah, that's true, because you know what I'm saying, it gets to the point where the men are wondering how much y'all are sharing with each other about us. And then, oh, y'all think y'all gonna get caught up? And I'm like, see, the fact that you don't understand that no one wants to date someone who's telling the other woman they're dating this what's going on. Not because that gets you caught up, but it's kind of no one's business right now. Like, it's one thing to tell your friends who is not trying to date the guy what's going on. But when you tell other women who may also be interested in that guy, they can then say, well, he don't kiss me. He didn't buy me no roses, or whatever it may be. It's like you snitching to the competition. And so it can be weird. He like, no, it's not about being caught up. It's about, we just know conversations happen, and how will that play out for everyone. And he brings up how he was like, I liked you. You know what I'm saying? Until that date. And that we had a date, and I just did not feel anything. You know what I'm saying? And for that reason, guys, felt like, you are not being genuine. And so we don't feel like you're ready to love. And the fact that she then started crying, and I just feel like I'm shocked. Okay, I'm shocked. I feel like I've been bamboozled. I feel like I have been. I've never been on the bottom. I'm like, well, you were today. And she brought up how she felt like she was cheated because for the first time, I was trying to be open or whatever, and my kids felt like I would come home with a man. I'm like, look, no offense, fuck them kids. Like, you can't be here looking for a man and then saying that I failed my children because I came here and couldn't find one. There are many men in the sea. Okay? Many men in the sea. And I feel like seeing these two women in the bottom with their differences that are clearly visible, to me it means you can look like the quintessential beautiful woman, and that will not mean shit in life. You will still be in the bottom. Okay? Anyway, like, well, you gotta go. And I was like, her crying was too much for me. I was like, whatever. Now with Tressa and Joel, she's like, oh, we finally got a date. I'm looking like, and when he said, oh, girl, I was like, oh shit, something ain't right here, because he don't look like it's what's going on. And he like, I just felt like I had to let you know that the men decided that that you just not ready to love, just not with anyone here, and she was sad. You know what I'm saying? He was also very warming, telling her. But when he thinks like, I don't know what else to say, I felt like that was him with his way. I'm like, I think it's time to go. I felt bad for her, but also not bad for her, because again, the one she is supposed to be with just wasn't there, because it wasn't even that the men did not like her. It seemed like she had not connected with the men either. So I don't feel bad in that way, but I do wish that they would put more men on the show who would not be like, you know what I'm saying? I think plus size woman is like the friend. You know what I'm saying? That's the part that I don't like. Every season the men think that, oh, she the friend. She the homie. It's like, no. Did you date plus size women? Yes, I love them. Put them on the show. You know what I'm saying? Because then they at least have a chance to mesh with someone. But you put thick women on a show with men who love slim women. You know what I'm saying? Tressa didn't say. Tressa said she didn't like them. Yeah, so and that's my thing. Like it wasn't as if she liked someone and then no one liked her. She didn't like anyone either. You know what I'm saying? But again, they need to put better men on the show. Is my opinion. So again, it was a double elimination, and I was expecting that to come. I thought it would happen eventually, because again, they sent home 2 men the first time, so they had kind of evened it on out. But again, that was the whole episode. I was like, girl, this season is going by slow. I just want them to put in more of the conversations being had, so we can see the connections. Like, we don't get why Chris and Amber like each other and are connected. We don't see why Venetia and Joe, like, we don't see how these people, even Alexis and Ronald, we don't see, like, y'all, look, what? How? When that happened? So I just want more of that, just so that it makes more sense if those are the ones who end up together in the end. Okay, I need to see that shit. But it looks to get good next week too, so I can't wait for that. Anyway, I am done right now. I'm going to prepare for my Ayana Fix My Life review coming up in about 8 minutes. So again, I'm going to end it here and come back for Ayana Fix My Life. Okay, with the ladies who needed some fixing and whatnot. So again, have a good day. Feeling immense. Gotta go. Peace.